Hello, everybody. I'm Dave Sweet with Whiskey and Barrel Night. We're here again for our virtual tasting. And this week, we're doing it a little bit different. We've got our regular gang here. Drew, who not only is our in-house chef, but is quite the mixologist himself, with a couple awards under his belt, one being for a Bloody Mary. TJ, of course, and a very, very special guest, Brooke Baker from Underdog. Brooke has been on the New York bar scene for quite a while. She's managed the infamous cocktail bar Dead Rabbit, and now is running Underdog and bringing Underdog to new levels and new heights. A great whiskey bar, and of course a brilliant cocktail bar. What we're doing is we're going to put a new twist on an old standard. So we're going to take a Bloody Mary, and to quote my good friend Fred Minnick, vodka sucks. So I didn't say that. That's Fred's position. Sorry, Harlan. We don't mean anything about that. I'll never get another Buffalo Trace bottle again. So what we're going to do is, of course, this is Whiskey and Barrel Night, so we're going to make a bourbon Bloody Mary. And this is a lot harder than what it would seem. So we brought the experts in. I am the whiskey guy, not the mixologist. So what we did is I put a very standard Bloody Mary together. I love to go craft and local, so we did Dead Farmers, which is a local Chicago supplier with actually vegan, gluten-free, 100% natural, local farm-raised Bloody Mary mix. Very, very tasty, very thick, very chunky. And then, of course, Barb came up with some Evan Williams hot sauce that she's been hiding from me. There's just enough left for a couple Bloody Marys. And we mixed it in, and I used a Maker's Mark, but because I can, I delved into some Maker's Private Select, and a little bit sweeter. This is a recipe that I just happen to like, and flavored that up a little bit. And because I make Bloody Marys the way I make pizza, I put a little bit of everything on it. So even, of course, the bacon. So this is my bourbon Bloody Mary. Just Maker's Mark, a little bit extra there, lots of everything, a little extra spice and sauce. But this is pretty plain and boring compared to what we've got coming up. So, Brooke, what do you got cooking for us from Underdog?
All right, well, I wanted to do something that would highlight the really amazing flavor of this Rosie's Maple Bacon Whiskey. Now, it's actually only 35%, so it's really just a liqueur. And I'm going to bolster that with iron smoked bourbon. This is out of the same distillery, the same guys. I work with Patrick a lot. Tommy is the founder, and they're great guys. So being that this maple bacon has so much flavor in its own right, I wanted to keep the juice, the tomato juice, very simple. So we're just gonna add, we're gonna add some Worcestershire. It's about 2 ounces for the tomato juice. I should have taken the top off of that. There we go. One of my all-time go-tos, whether it's vodka, tequila, whatever we're putting in, is always Dijon mustard. I love Dijon in a Bloody Mary. It gives it a beautiful creamy texture. It gives it that nice zip you're looking for, some of that acidity that you like. So we're gonna put just a couple of heaping spoonfuls.
Drew, you need to send Brooke some of your homemade mustard barbecue sauce.
I was about to say, yeah, you gotta send her some of that because she'll love it for Bloody. I was just gonna say now I'm jealous I didn't have that idea already.
So, I mean, and for those that hadn't seen it, we did a craft versus homemade barbecue sauce thing, and Drew knocked it out of the park. So I'm going to put it back to Brooke before we steal her thunder there.
No, that's okay. I actually left my garnishes in the kitchen, so I'm going to yell to my chef really quick to grab those for me, so we can just pause for a second.
No problem.
I'm going to start doing that. I'm just going to yell at my chef. Barb, we need some more celery and a little bit more Worcestershire sauce, please.
I'd have to yell at the chef. I'd have to yell at myself. I don't know what to say. I got nothing on
I
this.
have nothing either. Guys. Brooke, you get a chef in your place. My speaky has no chef.
Well, I do. I have some help. And so he has, because we're doing the maple bacon, he's been down there cooking up some of our house cured bacon. It's thick sliced house cured bacon, and he's cooking it up in some maple syrup for me. So we're gonna garnish with some big fat slabs of bacon and keep it really simple. Other than that, I'm gonna go ahead and add in some lemon juice because we want to enhance the acidity on that. The mustard gives it that nice zip, but tomato's got a good amount of acidity in its own right. But
Brooke, on the iron smoke, is this for those that aren't familiar with the bourbon? So this is a little bit richer. Obviously, it's a fantastic craft producer. What's a little different? Is this going to be a lighter, sweeter, or a darker, richer bourbon?
It's a beautiful bourbon. It's pretty straightforward. You get some notes of like sweet apple, a hint of smoke off of that. So, I think that it's really got a wonderful flavor. Thank you so much. So we're going to go ahead and add in our bourbon. I'm going to measure this, but you could just
I'm going to keep adding to my Bloody Mary as I get different ideas.
You're going to keep going.
Nice.
It's not a bad way to build a Bloody Mary.
All right, we're going to do 10 ounces of the
Yeah,
smoke bourbon. So we don't have to be so shy with that. We're going to do 6 ounces of the maple bacon. This stuff is great, even all by itself. My pitcher is going to be very, very full.
Family style.
Now that pitcher is making one Bloody Mary then, right?
That?
Just one.
That's just one
one?
Bloody Mary, right?
Yep, I really have no intention of sharing this with anyone. This is strictly for me. So I really love these like sweet apple notes that the Iron Cross has, and I just kind of wanted to pop those out a little bit more. And I'm adding a 110 proof Applejack. It's called White Knight by Barking Irons, and it's 110 proof, so it's pretty boozy. It's going to counteract some of that lower ABV of the maple bacon bourbon.
And folks, this is why we bring in the experts, because never in 100 years would I have ever thought of adding something like that to a Bloody Mary.
Sometimes you just get creative, or you have little lightning strikes of what's the word I'm looking for?
Look, you're a badass. You don't need a word. You're good to go.
Yeah.
You're just good at what you do.
Culinary epiphanies, maybe.
To follow that up, so far, we've actually got a pretty simple mix here. Tomato, Worcestershire, mustard. We want to add a little salt to help bind the flavors together. Salt is a great binder in both food and drinks. I like to use saline in a lot of drinks. For my bloody, I really like to use a lot of pepper. So I'm going to do this, but in reality, it's going to be this much pepper, and I didn't want to waste everybody's time with shaking, so we're just going to go ahead and dump all of it.
So now is the pepper kind of the last little bit, and when you mix it up?
It doesn't really matter when you incorporate that. I don't think there's really an order to these operations other than you really want to get that mustard in early so that you eliminate any chunks or little globs. You want to get that nice and incorporated into it. Okay. Grab my glass and some ice, which I should have done before.
Looking good, looking good.
We can edit.
Oh, yeah, no worries. Take your time. Be just fine.
Now, Drew, I see you still have the Zombie Apocalypse beer collection there behind you.
Bro, every time and it's always funny because it's always a week later when we do these. And by then, we have exponentially raised the level with the amount of beer drinking going around here during these interesting times. So I think we did the math the other day. If you calculate the Michigan bottle return or can return, whatever you call it, we have like $300 worth of cans back here. So we're doing the best that we can,
See, that's a double threat. See, it's a good backdrop, and that's also rainy day money for when the apocalypse actually does happen.
Yeah, exactly. So it's my savings account back here. That's all it is.
All right, we've got Brooke back here. Oh, did she duck out on us? See, now, for those watching, and we apologize for the delay here, Brooke's actually doing this. Obviously, you can tell from the background at Underdog, and they are open So she is taking care of people that are dying to get out in New York to get back to some semblance of normal and go participate in a very, very cool, like no other place, bar scene in New York City. So we are privileged to have Brooke with us tonight, and we're very happy to be patient with her. And then, is she pouring that over to some customers? Should we bounce over
I'm
to?
pouring drinks for customers at the moment. I'll be right back with you. I'm sorry.
All right,
No problem.
bounce over to TJ. So TJ, why don't you do
Yeah.
yours up real quick?
Yeah.
Right on, right on. So, okay, I think this is a great little contrast here because as a working bartender in New York, my perspective of working is as a bartender is mostly from events and also teaching mixology and bartending classes. So while Brooke has New York's new normal version of bartending at the moment, which is like kind of like delivery service, which is something that was never in demand, just a few months ago, like doing delivery service or window service for your bar. Well, here we are. And so on the other end of the spectrum, since I don't have any events to work until further notice, until everything opens up, I've got my speakeasy in my kitchen, and I can do some stuff remotely, including improv bartending. So my drink here is going to be based on a lot of improv and a lot of the stuff that I've had laying around, which includes a NutriBullet. Do you guys have a NutriBullet, either of you?
Oh.
Well, neither do I, but my girlfriend does, and I've been using her NutriBullet since we've been under quarantine. And so I've actually I've created what I'm calling the bloody booze juice ahead of time that I've just dumped into the NutriBullet. A little longer than that. I've pre-mixed it already, but you get it to a nice puree, liquefied form. And so then what I have here in this mixture is a combination of cherry tomatoes and, let's see here, Worcestershire sauce. I also have a little bit of Bitterman's celery shrub in it. Okay. And in addition to a little bit of Montreal steak seasoning, which I happen to have on hand. And what else did I put in here? We also have the Whiskey and Barrel Night barbecue sauce that Drew sent me. So I put in a couple of tablespoons of the barbecue sauce, which is a tomato and vinegar base, nice and sweet. And that adds a nice little kick to the Bloody Mary mix. So I put all that in there, and so that's one ingredient. And so that goes into the shaker.
Oh, here he goes. The Tom Cruise imitation. Again, I see it.
His
see it
favorite
coming.
part. His favorite part.
I'm sorry.
Oh, no.
Time for TJ's Tom Cruise imitation. Come on, TJ. Shake it up.
So I created what I'm calling my bloody booze juice in my NutriBullet at home, which is a combination of cherry tomatoes and Worcestershire sauce, a little Frank's Red Hot, a couple of other things. I'll shoot you guys the recipe. And so that's what's in the shaker right now. Now, I was going to just have the High West bourbon. I was going to go for about 2 ounces of that, but then I realized, guys, about 10 minutes ago, that for a Memorial Day weekend, it might not be bad to plug the Cooperstown Distillery. That's upstate a little bit.
Nice.
I love this bottle, by the way. Yeah, right? So I'm going to put in an ounce of that, too.
Come on, we're getting thirsty here, TJ. Come on. Step it up.
Well,
People dying of thirst.
Make this a drink, bro. Let's go.
Oh, all right. Little of the shrub. All right, now I need some ice. Since this is my home, I'm going to get it right from the ice tray, just the way you like.
Look at it. We got the high-end custom beer pile behind.
Exactly.
Really ultra
That's
fancy.
how we all do during the apocalypse.
Nothing but the best for our show.
And so,
Really.
I gotta tell you, this is Dave's favorite part, Brooke.
That's it. Shake it.
I was like this.
Barb, get the phone. That's Tom Cruise calling for his review of cocktails.
Oh, no, I got my sticky hands. I can't answer the phone.
Bro, can you make some more cheese?
Fun fact, I'm doing this all barefoot.
Oh, nice. Good for you.
And I'm going to mix my blends. As far as a draft glass, I'm going to do my nice Guinness one.
Hey, I got drunk in Ireland and came back with a Guinness tattoo. So
That's awesome. So, a couple more ice cubes to this bad boy. And My girlfriend is starting to eat pretty healthy, so every now and then she gets some kale.
Ooh.
Nice.
And I happen to have on hand some lemon, but also these are pickled ramps.
Oh, sweet.
Oh.
All right, it's ramp season, guys. And so, without further ado, there is my Bloody Mary.
Awesome.
Loving it, man. That looks amazing. I'm jealous I can't be there to enjoy that with you.
That looks gorgeous.
Cheers. Now, this is really pulpy the way that I made it. So, in order to drink this properly, you need a handy-dandy straw, like this collapsible one that I got.
It looks like a medical
Oh, how
instrument.
fun.
Really? Seriously? A collapsible straw, TJ?
Dude, got all the toys here. Got all the toys in my speakeasy at home.
I could run with that, but this is a family show.
Mm. Very wise choice.
Well, Dave, I
Very
don't
wise
want to hear it.
choice.
Talk to you on
Well,
the phone later.
yeah. Oh, as it turns out, this came out perfect and delicious. I'm going to be sharing the recipe with you guys.
So we're going to bounce back. Thank you, TJ, very much. We definitely want to see that recipe. And the steak seasoning sauce was a cool add-on. That was brilliant. And Brooke, you're wrapping yours up. How you want to?
Yeah, I'm back. So
I know
just
you've
a
got
quick
some customers
recap.
there. You're going to serve it to.
Yeah, so I'm kind of a minimalist when it comes to garnishing. I just kind of like to keep it simple. However,
Me too.
ready to go. So again, we have tomato juice, Dijon, a little Worcestershire, lots of pepper, a little salt. We've got a lot of the Iron Smoke bourbon, a lot of the maple bacon bourbon, and a touch of Applejack, 110 proof. These are all New York products, by the way. They're all made, sourced, all ingredients are from New York, so they're really good. And for garnish, I just went ahead and had my chef whip up some house cured. Look at that big, fat, beautiful bacon.
Oh,
Ooh,
beautiful.
nice.
He
Beautiful.
Maple glazed it, so it's gonna enhance that flavor.
Mm,
Give it a sip and see how we did. I'm excited.
love it.
I'm excited. I'm not
So
even
I may
there.
not have a super cool collapsible straw. However, my straws are made from corn and they are biodegradable. So we're still working on, being sustainable and looking after the planet. All right,
Nice.
so
Awesome. So now, just hating to be the taskmaster, that looks phenomenal, Brooke. And you're going to get some people to try that in the bar.
I am.
And then TJ's going to go to his. So we've got the Chicago special here. Then we've got the New York special, all local. And then TJ's twist on a few things. So, Drew, what do you got for us from Michigan?
I'm gonna make it at cut my teeth bartending in New York, but I'm in Michigan now, so we're gonna have to show everybody a little love on two fronts. So I did years ago in 2006. I won the best Bloody Mary in New York on a review. So just throwing that out there. Not to be cocky, it's to say that I understand great Bloody Mary mix. Okay, so with that background, I want to introduce McClure's. Phenomenal. And the reason I chose it is I have that production facilities in Detroit, here in Michigan, obviously, and then back home in Brooklyn, where I hope to get back and look at my apartment at some point in the foreseeable future. So I wanted to say hello to both of those places, and I'm going to keep it real simple. So I've got a glass, got a little bit of lime juice. It's the garage, so I can squeeze that on the floor. We're in good business. And then I've got a little bit of Whiskey Barrel Night dry rub, okay? I'm just going to make a quick rim on this. Nice. The recipe is on the website. Check it out. It's delicious. It's easy to make, and it stores very well, so you can make a little bit too much and not worry too much about it. I have these. I'm not going to use it. Dig in with my hands.
Will be.
All right, I have no time for tongs. It's just, who cares? Booyah. Tongs away. And then for this, we're just going to use Jim Beam. One of our favorite products, Whiskey Barrel Night. We love it. We've used it in all of our barbecue sauces thus far. So, again, all those websites are there on the website for you.
Right on.
So, yeah. Alrighty then. So we're going to do that. I am going to take a little bit of our barbecue sauce in this last go around. It's a West Texas style barbecue sauce. So it's a little bit different than the South Carolina one we did last week, but it's still really good.
Yeah.
So a bar spoon of that. Yes, I know I only sent you guys small bottles, but I made a lot for myself, so you just have to deal with it. I apologize.
Oh, hey, no, this is great. I'm using it for cooking for everything. I actually used the mustard-based sauce you sent me. I used it on burgers just last night, Drew.
Beautiful.
Great.
And then we're going to pop some of that McClure's in there. It's done. This is a nice spicy version. Again, you can find this pretty much anywhere. And then just a quick garnish, already ready to go. I've got a cocktail onion, a big-ass pickle, some kind of pepper-looking deal, and an olive. We'll just throw that in there. And we have a Whiskey Barrel Night barbecue Bloody Mary with the bourbon in it. Loving our folks over at Jim Beam. So there it is. If you really wanted to, I filled mine up. I could probably put a lime on, and then we're all set. So
Ooh.
here's guys.
Ooh,
I don't think
damn,
it's gonna be as
quick,
good as
fast,
that,
and
or
dirty, and
as good as
I'm
Brooks, but
guessing
there we
very
go.
All
delicious.
right. There we
That sounds
go.
great.
So do we all have a drink in hand? Cheers, guys. Happy
Cheers,
Sunday.
everybody.
Boo boo.
Cheers. Thank you, folks. And then again, this is at Whiskey and Barrel Night. We always love to partner with our bars. The idea of Whiskey and Barrel Night only comes around once a year. The bars are open all the time. The bars are where you go, taste cool, different cocktails, different whiskeys, and really the experts there behind the bar. We always have them at the show. They're always whipping up something cool and interesting and different. So thank you very much. We're going to have the recipes up on the website, of course, along with the video. Brooke, thanks, and we're going to have you back with us again, I'm sure.
Can't
TJ,
wait.
Drew, as always, never disappoint. Folks, cheers.